Hello and welcome to the new episode of the Boy Time podcast. I'm your host, Jerry, and as always, I'm joined by Babby. Yes, it's true. It's been a long time coming. This is our Halloween special. Uh, we are talking about The Thing, the 1982 John Carpenter classic. This was kind of you suggested this, I guess I should say. But this is one of my favorite movies of all time. I think it is in my Letterboxd top 4. And although you cannot see it, right over there, there's a poster of The Thing that is above my TV. It's that and Darkman.
Two classics.
Two classics. We might do Darkman in the future because that would be a fun one to talk about. And I don't know if you've seen any other Sam Raimi movies besides the Spider-Man movies. So that would be fun because he has a very distinct style. But we aren't talking about Sam Raimi. We're talking about John Carpenter and by extension, his film, The Thing. That's right. This is mostly going to be talking about John Carpenter, the guy, because he's a very interesting fellow. I don't have that much prepared for that. But I guess we'll get started. Since this was your first time watching the film, what did you think?
I thought it was pretty good. I knew going in that it was just like Among Us the movie,
Yes.
which it was, and that's not a bad thing. I don't know. It was kind of cozy in a weird way because it's just like an 80s horror movie where you're kind of like, all right, like we're in this era of like it's still on film and the practical effects are like in this movie really good, but the 80s kind of had like this very either really cheesy or really weird. This had like a perfect balance, which was really nice.
Yes.
Kurt Russell looks absolutely insane in this movie.
He's the best. He looks
They
so
put
cool.
like 10 pounds of makeup on him and gave him a cowboy hat in Antarctica, and it was just like, oh my God, that's perfect. Yeah, it's weird.
But like only the top flips up.
Like, you don't need to be wearing that in Antarctica.
No.
But, okay.
But it is funny.
Yeah, it was very enjoyable.
Yeah. I would agree, obviously. I think I've gone on record as saying that Kurt Russell in this movie might be the coolest that anyone has ever looked. Not so much with the sombrero. That's a little bit goofy. Although I do like the sombrero goggles combo.
Yes.
Actually very nice when he's like out in the wilderness. They aren't really in the wilderness very much, but when they're outside. I love that. But like when he's inside, I'm thinking specifically with like the blood test, and he's like his hair is so like perfectly wavy, even though like they haven't slept in like what's supposed to be like 4 or 5 days at this point.
It still looks perfect.
He still looks perfect. I guess he's still showered, which I guess is nice to know.
I suppose.
But yeah, I guess we should just kind of jump into what it is. For those who have not seen it, we'll just give a very basic plot synopsis, although I'm sure everybody kind of knows this movie. But basically, there's like a group of scientists and like military people that are in a Antarctic research base. And like in the beginning of the movie, there's just a bunch of Swedish people shooting at a dog. But it turns Norwegian. Oh, that's right. I was like, because Kurt Russell always calls them Swedes.
They make it a very specific thing.
They do. I forgot about that. Specifically, Norwegians are shooting a dog. The dog gets into their base. It turns out, it's a secret alien that can perfectly mimic anything. I guess I don't really know the rules 100%. Is it like it mimics anything that it kills? I think that's what Wilford Brimley's little computer program says.
Consumes it or something?
Yeah. It isn't just like it can just change. Although it does kind of. Like when the dog is in the kennel with all the other dogs and it just like its face opens up. Like it wasn't killing anything in that moment. So I guess I don't really know the rules. Or when Chuck Norris is lying down on the ground and the doctor is shocking him, and then it just like
Hmm.
his belly opens up, which is the best. That scene's awesome. Um, it's so sick. Um, I don't know. I'm a sucker for all the monster scenes in this movie,
Hmm.
because it is, like you said, the effects are like phenomenal. This might be the best practical horror effects ever,
Hmm.
because all of them hold up perfectly. Like, it isn't like what you're saying, where sometimes you'll see like an old, like, I'll use Alien as an example, even though like the effects in that mostly hold up. Like, there are some shots where like you can just tell it's a dude in an alien suit. In this movie, there really isn't that.
Hmm.
Like, all of the like practical puppets and stuff are phenomenal. There's like very sparing use of stop motion. I think there's only like one stop motion thing in the entire movie, which is pretty impressive given like what they're pulling off here. But I think it's just like when they're planting the bombs at the end, and then there's like a little tentacle that reaches up and then
Oh yeah,
swipes the detonator down.
yeah.
That's like the one little bit of stop motion, and that's probably the effect that has aged the worst because it's like
Hmm.
pretty obvious that
I
that's
found it funny, so I viewed it as a plus.
okay. I mean, it is pretty funny. um, but yeah, I think that's like the highlight of the movie for me is like the special effects, and
Hmm.
um, all the other stuff is great too. I think the acting is pretty phenomenal all the way around. Obviously, you talked about Kurt Russell, and he is fantastic in this movie. Whenever he and John Carpenter get together, you know that you're going to be in for a treat. They have like crazy chemistry, but also you have like Wilford Brimley, who plays Blair,
Diabetes.
diabetes man himself. And you told me that you didn't know that he was an actor.
No, I forgot he was.
he, he's just a diabetes salesman.
I feel like I've only seen him in like this and maybe one other thing potentially, but
Yeah,
I don't even know if I've seen him in another thing.
I don't know. I don't think I have. I know he's in other things, and they're mostly like terrible.
Nothing of note. Yeah.
Uh, I did see that he was in The Firm, which is like a pretty
Hmm.
well respected Tom Cruise movie, but other than that, I have no idea. So maybe it's just those two things, which is nice, and a diabetes commercial. But also, you have Keith David, who played Childs. And he is like, he's one of those people that like I hardly ever recognize him for being in this movie, because to me, I see him like I picture him in this movie. He's very young, but like these days, he doesn't really look like he did back then.
Hmm.
Although he is like way swaggier now. He's always wearing like cool shades and like a sharp ass suit every time I see him in something. So he is pretty chill. And
This
he's
is
great in
the
this movie.
second movie he's been in that
That's
we've
it.
seen. He was in Gamer.
He was in Gamer. Oh wow. Yeah. That's
Carry
something.
through.
Well, thank you for pointing that out. He was also in 400 other things. He has, yeah, 400 acting credits on IMDb right now. Upcoming 11.
Wow.
If you don't
Still
know,
going.
yeah, if you don't know anything about Keith David, he is like very prolific, but you probably won't recognize him. Like, you'll see him in a couple things, but
Hmm.
he's a huge voice actor. And if you look at his like voice acting credits, it's like kind of crazy how much this dude like got around and gets around. He's still in like a bunch of stuff. So big shout out to Keith David. Very good. Um, is there any other like notable people? I think that's pretty much it for like name people. Unless someone like gives an angry comment that I forgot someone, but I didn't recognize anybody.
Do it.
I feel like that was kind of the point, though. I mean, Kurt Russell is like a star and would have been known
Hmm.
at that point. But like, other than that, like maybe some people knew Wilford Brimley from being like B movies. But I think I think the point was to kind of like keep it as relatively unknowns, so you weren't like
Mhm.
distracted by that the whole time. So yeah, I think it's very, very nice. Is there anything that you wanted to chat about? Anything that really stood out to you as being super great or super suck?
I don't watch a lot of horror movies, but I feel like this one struck a balance of like entertaining, kind of scary, kind of funny, just like well like put together.
Yeah.
Like I don't like a horror movie that takes itself too seriously, just because like I don't like that. It's like it's too intense for me to be watching something at that point. Like I like
Sure.
this where there's like comical moments of like if the Norwegian could hit a shot to save his life, this movie wouldn't have happened. Or if
Yeah.
he didn't blow up his own helicopter because he's a dumb idiot.
Yeah. Well,
Like there's a whole bunch of little things and like gags that would be like funny in a comedy aspect that is like completely flipped in this movie, and it has like
yes.
a really nice payoff that I really enjoy.
Yeah. Even our introduction to Kurt Russell, he's playing chess,
Hmm.
and because
Yeah.
he loses, he ruins the chess machine, which is like, what an asshole. Like, that's like your one form of entertainment
Hmm.
for like 15 other
He
people.
called the computer a cheater.
Yeah. He said, you cheating bitch, just because it was voiced by a woman, Adrienne Barbeau. It's a little cameo because I
This
think
movie does not pass the Bechdel test.
no, it does not. It definitely does not.
I don't even think there's a woman in this movie.
No, Adrienne Barbeau is the only female that, well, and she's
Wow,
not even credited. She's
that's
uncredited.
crazy.
I think she was married to John Carpenter.
Hmm.
Yes, yeah, they were married. She was also in like Escape from New York, and
Hmm.
I think she's in They Live, maybe, but don't quote me on that. But she's in a bunch of like early John Carpenter movies because they were married. So to kind of keep that thread going, she plays the
Hmm.
chess wizard. But other than that, there's no other
There's
women.
no women.
No women in the
Always
movie,
growing out in Antarctica.
which, like, I actually think that's like fine. Like,
No, yeah, I think it's
I
fine.
think
I
it's
didn't
like,
bring it up as a negative.
yeah, like, in fact, like, if you were to make this movie again, I think I would want to be like either all men or all women, just because
Mhm.
like I feel like because like if there was mixing, it would make it a little bit like too complicated for
Mhm.
like the alien effects and stuff, and also like there's just like more politics with that, with like mixed gender stuff. Um,
I think when you have a movie where it's like the way it works so well is because you're at like one location, there's nothing outside of this location. Like you are stuck in this location,
yeah,
and it's so intimate where it's like I just need guy one, two, three, four, five, six,
right.
and then like we can kind of get to know him throughout it. And that's the only focus is like uh standard guy with not much personality who's there for a job, but
Yep.
we need to figure out who's like the mimic. I
Right.
think that works well because there's
Yes.
no like giveaways with a lot of these.
No. There are like some like behind the scenes stuff, which I'm sure you've heard
Mhm.
about because it's like the most famous thing with this movie. And that is the catch lights in people's eyes.
Mhm.
I think it is a general misconception that that is like present throughout the entire thing. It's just during the blood test scene. So
Mhm.
if you go back and watch the blood test scene, you'll see that everybody in that room has catch lights like that in my eyes. You can see it, like two little dots. And basically, that's just like general photography. It's like just something to draw your eyes to their
Mhm.
eyes essentially. So John Carpenter had everybody but Palmer, who's the thing at that point, have catch lights whenever
Mhm.
they're on
Interesting.
camera. So it is like a little thing that you're like, oh, it's a little nod, a little Easter egg. If you are like
Mhm.
looking for it, it is there. And so I think like just with the internet being it's kind of spiraled to being like, oh, if
Yeah.
you watch the entire thing,
Control.
it's like,
Yeah.
okay, yes, but only once.
Mhm.
Like that's like a big thing about the ending of this movie, which I like that it's like intentionally
Yeah.
ambiguous as to like we know that like McCready isn't the thing because he just tried to blow it up and said like "go fuck yourself" or whatever.
Hmm.
Oh no, he said "and fuck you too." That's his famous line. Very famous. Uh, but it's him and Keith David, and it's like we don't know whether or not he's the thing. And it's just like, oh well, if he is, then they're just gonna freeze, and the problem is just gonna keep going when someone finds
Hmm.
them, or they're both human and the thing was destroyed, but they're basically screwed either way.
Hmm.
So they're just gonna sit around. Which I love that ending. I don't know how do you feel about it? Just quickly.
I don't know. I think it was acceptable. Like, I don't know how you end it, where it's like, oh, the helicopter's here and we're rescued.
Yeah,
We're back. Like,
that
it's all
wouldn't really
good.
fit the
I don't
tone.
think that would have been satisfying. So
No.
I like the blow everything up strat,
Yeah,
which is kind of foreshadowed when they go out and explore the other base that got taken over and it's just like
that's
destroyed.
true.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I think that's the only way you can really end it.
I agree. I like that's yeah. Yeah, I agree. But with the theories, like there are like shots of Keith David where there aren't catch lights, and there's
Hmm.
some where there are. So some people point to that being like, oh, he's the thing because in this shot he doesn't have a catch light. And it's a nod that was done earlier in the movie. And I think even John Carpenter has said like publicly, like, no, that
Hmm.
wasn't intentional. So yeah, I don't really like that, but it's fine. It's whatever. Um, but yeah, a little fun trivia things. When the dog, which I've talked many times
The
about
dog.
how the dog acting in this movie is maybe the best dog acting ever.
It is crazy. I
It's
mean,
like,
especially coming off of RRR where everything is just CGI. I'm like, oh wow,
yeah,
that's a lot of dogs you gotta like have act.
yes, but the dog, like,
Yeah.
I don't know how you get a dog to do that. Like,
Hmm.
specifically, and this is the shot that I was going to talk about. It's like when he's walking down the hall and then he walks into someone's room and then you just see their
Yeah.
silhouette. But like the dog does like its right front paw first, leans its head around the
Hmm.
corner, and then walks. I'm like, how do you train a dog to like peek a corner like that? Like, that's
Hmm.
crazy. But fun fact, that silhouette is nobody that was on the cast. They did that
Mm.
very deliberately to be like kind of
You
throw
can't
a
tell who it is.
curveball, yeah. Because
Yeah.
if it was Wilford Brimley, you would
You would
definitely
know.
notice. So
Yes.
like I think they just got like one of the people that was on the crew, like a PA or something, to sit and then just
Hmm.
turn around as a little thing to throw you off, which is nice. Because like first time I
Deception.
watched it, like I was like looking for the hair. I'm like, because he has a very distinct like hairstyle, like kind of
Hmm.
pokes out in the front a little bit. So I was like looking around at all the other people that had that hairstyle because they all look the same.
Yep.
And so I'm like, oh, which one's the thing? But it's none of them. Some dude that was,
Debated.
yeah, some dude that was bringing water to John Carpenter, probably. I don't know. Or it's weed. That's probably more accurate. Because for those who don't know, that's pretty much all that John Carpenter does these days.
It was in the movie, so I
It
feel
was in the
like
movie,
where
but
you get weed in Antarctica, you must have had a big supply of that. But
I don't know. I don't know where you get it. I just from John Carpenter, I guess.
that might be like the worst experience is like trying to smoke weed when there's a shape shifting alien. Like that might be
Yeah,
the worst possible scenario for that
I agree.
ever.
Yeah, I will not recommend doing that. I,
Yeah. That'd
I
be paranoia to a different level.
it's like throughout the entire movie, Kurt Russell is like constantly drinking J
That
and
too. I'm
B.
like, oh my
I'm
God.
like, you want to be drunk right now? Like, I mean, I
You
guess
also haven't slept in like 4 days.
right. I'm like, I understand, like, it's a stressful situation. I would probably also want to have some distractions, but I'm like, man, if that thing comes in, I wouldn't want my reaction time to be dulled like that.
True. True. He
But
had very quick reaction time in that one scene where he had to shoot the guy. So I don't know.
that's true. When he shot poor old Clark, the Wolf
Yeah.
Man.
Clark.
I love Clark. He's just a quiet dog handler.
Hmm.
And he gets got for no reason. Well, He did try
Well,
to murder Kurt Russell.
yeah.
So
It
I guess
was a very high tense situation to be doing something like that.
it was, but that's okay. Um, but yeah, I guess we talked about the dog acting. I think we should maybe talk about the blood test scene because that
Hmm.
might be my favorite scene in any movie ever.
Okay.
Because man, it builds tension like nothing else. And like the jump scare in it is like perfect
Hmm.
because it happens while Kurt Russell is accusing Garry, the commander. He's like, I knew you're the only one that had access to that blood. That's why you're. And then like as he's like checking Palmer, and then it's Palmer that is it,
Boom.
and there's a big scream, and then he eats windows in the
That was
most.
sick. I like that one.
was the gnarliest thing ever. Yeah, it, like chomps Windows head, and then like Windows legs are like flying in the air.
Hmm.
It's so gross. And then he
And then
gets
he set him on fire, and then he broke through the wall and ran away. Like that's how you do it.
yeah, the 1 inch thick wall of plywood
Yeah.
that would definitely insulate an Antarctic
I
research
feel like there
base.
was multiple times in this movie where I'm like, they should be frozen right now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like, but that one especially, like
Yes.
that distracts me every time. Where I'm like, there's no way. Like
Yeah.
this is the winter time, and it's just like a little sheet of wood. I think they
Hmm.
did like try to fake it where there's like some insulation, but I'm like, that's not near enough. Obviously, John
Yeah.
Carpenter has never been in a Midwest attic.
I suppose.
Because
That
he's
was like the one downside I had was like I feel like the cold should have had more of a presence, and not in just like the snowstorm aspect where there was a storm happening. I feel like the cold should have been more of a actual thing because like
mm,
there was something busted open. They broke a window to shoot the
I
Norwegian
know,
within
yeah.
5 minutes in the movie, and then like it was not brought up. I don't know. I think you can add tension with like the cold aspect of like, okay, now we're all freezing and tired, and we need to figure out who did this. Like I feel like it could have been a cool addition to what it was.
I agree. I agree. I did catch that this time. When I'm like, what are you
Mhm.
doing? You're the leader here, and you just like breaking a window. It's like also like 2 days before winter at that point, and it's like,
Yeah.
what are you like? You presumably have commanded here during winter before.
Hmm.
You know how cold it gets in Antarctica, which is like crazy cold. So I don't know what he was thinking. But also that glass was like sugar glass, and he like
Yes,
barely
that should
tapped
have been
it.
like actual double, triple insulated
Yeah.
glass.
These are just things that we notice as
Yes.
cold weather
We live in the
boys.
cold.
We do.
Yeah.
Not right now.
Man, go crazy. No, it's quite warm out, which is stupid.
Yeah.
But
As of recording this, we are getting record highs tomorrow, which is awesome.
yep,
I
the
love
great
that.
month of October,
It sure
which is
is.
what you love to see.
We do love to see it. 90 degrees in October is what I love to
Yep.
see. Um, yeah, that was like one thing where I'm like, maybe we should wait a couple weeks. We can kind of get in the feel. Like this for
Yeah.
me is like you watch this during winter when it is
Mhm.
cold
Okay.
and you feel it, and it's like
Hmm.
that definitely adds to the feeling where it's like, ooh, I know this intimately because
Hmm.
I'm feeling it right now. Um, but it's fine. We watched it, and I mean, it's great to watch anytime, obviously.
Yeah. I feel like it's a one that I would rewatch just because it's kind of cozy. Like it
It's
has that kind
cozy.
of charm to it, where it's not like I'm gonna put it on to be like, I'm scared, which I don't
No.
usually put on anyways. But like, it's a nice little cozy like thing to throw on. It's like, okay, I'll catch this next time because I feel like it's highly rewatchable in that aspect. So
Hmm.
at least
Yeah,
what I'm assuming.
especially if like you know who the thing is. Like there's
Yeah, at that time.
like I was watching Palmer like in the scene before the blood test, and I'm like, oh, he's
Hmm.
like, it's weird. He like acts different, which is
Interesting.
impressive.
Hmm.
So yeah, I recommend rewatching it. It's very fun. I try to watch it every year or so because it is just one of my favorites.
We'll add it to our yearly watch list. We
You're
have a couple of things that we watch every single year, and we'll just keep
oh
piling them on.
yeah, I think it's It's The Thing and Over the Garden Wall that I watch every year.
Hmm. Yep, I do Twin Peaks and Over the Garden Wall every year,
There you go.
and then maybe this at some point.
Maybe.
We're gonna do it in the dead of winter next time, though.
Yeah, do it in February.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. But yeah, I guess we should also talk about the reception of this thing
Hmm.
because I don't know if you noticed, but this was a huge flop. This is
I
like,
did know that.
yeah, it's John Carpenter's. Actually, I don't know. I don't think it's John Carpenter's least successful, but it's like the movie that made him like kind of walk away from doing like big budget Hollywood stuff
Hmm.
because he was like, "What the hell? I worked on this so hard and like I got nothing from it." Um, and I don't know. Like this was like towards the end of his like run of being like really really good. I mean, he released stuff in like the mid to late 80s that was good, but then like by the 90s he was like cooked.
Hmm.
And he hasn't even like made a movie in 20 years. So like I think like this might have been like the turning point that kind of pushed him away from filmmaking, which
Yeah.
is unfortunate. Especially considered how good this movie is, where I'm like, I don't
Hmm.
understand why it failed. I should maybe do
I could
some
see it
digging.
being like a '80s theater thing where it's like this is too slow compared to like like
Yeah,
Halloween or something, because it is kind of like methodical and kind of, I guess the snowy pace is like kind of frozen, so the movie does kind of like start slow and set up and then it gets crazy. So I
yeah,
could see audiences being like, this is taking too long, I don't get it.
yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm looking at movies that came out in 82. You got Blade Runner,
Mm,
E.T. E.T.'s
hmm.
like that was the
Yeah.
highest grossing movie of all time. And so like I don't think many people were like into scary aliens. Like maybe
Hmm.
like E.T. was such a huge thing where it was like it spawned its own like wave of ET knockoffs of like friendly alien coming in
Right.
and then kids befriending it. So I wonder if it was just like wrong time.
It could be
Uh
because it's not like flashy, like
no.
it's there's nothing, there's not like a recognizable monster from it or anything, which I think
No.
is adds to it, but I think when it comes to marketing made it not easy to do.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, relax. Yeah, that's I mean that's probably it. That sucks though.
Hmm.
Tron also came out.
Oh,
Oh
damn.
wow.
82 was a big year.
Tron sucks. Uh the special effects on that are terrible. Talk about like whiplash. If you do a double feature with the Thing and Tron, it's gonna be like night and
I'm
day.
always doing
I love that's my go-to.
such a good combo.
It sure is. I always get Kurt Russell and Jeff Bridges like mixed up in my head.
Mm,
So
I could see it.
yeah,
They're both kind of, yeah.
especially like these days, they're both kind of
Hmm.
like silver foxes. Although Jeff Bridges now has the big beard,
Yeah,
which I guess he did have in like Big Lebowski, but he didn't have in Tron.
true.
So probably easy to confuse them at the time. So that's fun. But yeah, it was a huge flop, and it only really gained prevalence later. And it became a big hit. Now most people like know this movie and have probably seen it,
Hmm.
but that was not the case at the time, and it's very unfortunate because John
Yeah.
Carpenter is a very good director.
I think if this came out like today, I think it'd be like a smash just because social deception is the big thing. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I think this is a reason why social deception is the big thing.
Yes.
Because like if you look at like games and other stuff where it's like they're obviously influenced by this. So it's kind of a give or take when it comes to this.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, that's I mean, they did remake this movie. Did you know that?
I did see two different other movies and I'm like, okay.
Well, yeah. So there's two. I've seen the first one because this is a
Hmm.
remake technically of the movie The Thing from Another World, which is an old 50s movie. And I think they show footage of it in this movie where it's like All of the researchers find the UFO in the ice, and they're watching like the footage of the
Oh,
Norwegians.
that shot. Yeah.
I think that's footage from the original movie. There were some shots that looked familiar, but
Hmm.
honestly, it's been a minute since I've seen that. And it's not very good, so I don't think I would ever rewatch it. But also, they take the thing in a block of ice, like they find at the Norwegian
Oh,
research base. And when it breaks
smart.
out, it's like it looks like
Hmm.
that. So there are like some nods to like the Norwegian base kind of being the base from the first movie.
Hmm.
But the beast from or the thing from another world does not change into other people.
Mm.
In fact, it's a big vegetable. It's a plant.
Oh,
I think they actually describe it as a vegetable. So whenever I describe the original thing to people, I always say it's a big carrot monster, which is
mm.
kind of a goof, but also they say it's a vegetable man. So could be a carrot man. I don't know. But it's weird. It
They
feels
just need
like,
to make the thing like every 40 years, and it just picks up where the last one left off. That's how
that,
you do it.
well, we'll get to that because when they did remake it, they, whatever, we'll get to it. But the thing in the thing from another world's a big vegetable, and he's like a big Frankenstein. He's not even
Hmm.
like, yeah, there's no social deduction or anything. It's just a big monster. I don't even know why they did that because, like, at that point, like Roswell would have been a thing, and little gray men would have been in the cultural consciousness. I don't know why they went with Frankenstein for Alien.
Hmm.
Doesn't really work, in my humble opinion. But John Carpenter watched this shitty little B movie from the 50s that nobody cared about and was like,
I could do it better.
there's little nuggets here where it's like an Antarctic research base and they find an alien, and that's pretty much it.
Perfect setting.
Yeah, that's like all of the connections for that.
Hmm.
But then I think the remake came out in 2011 of the John Carpenter movie, which itself was a remake of something else.
Hmm.
But that remake was also kind of a soft reboot because that was very much the time period where they were like, dig up 80s IPs,
Make it a new thing.
make it a new thing. So instead, what they decided to do was show the story of the Norwegian research base.
Great.
Yeah, it's what we all wanted. It's a prequel.
Exactly.
And I haven't seen it, but I've seen clips. And it's like it's so obviously like prequel stuff where like they go to the ice block and then they thaw him out and it's the same shape. And then there's like in one shot where they're like walking through the base, there's like an axe that's in a wall.
Yeah,
And they like make a point in the remake to like
of
show
course.
the axe hit the wall and then like linger on the axe. And remember the axe from the thing in that one shot? Remember that?
I'm so glad Blade Runner didn't do a lot of that stuff.
It really didn't. That's like why that Blade Runner 2049 like
Yeah, it
stands out.
works.
It's like, man, nothing else was like that. But also controversially, the remake leaned heavily on CGI,
Mm, can't do
which
that.
you can't do that, especially like 2011 CGI. Nope, no, doesn't look good. But what's weird was it was being advertised or marketed as a big return to practical effects. So I don't know what happened in between the like release stuff coming out and
Hmm.
the movie actually being edited because it seems like all of the practical special effects got cut and were replaced with CGI stuff. Seems like a weird call, but I guess they needed to make a movie and they didn't have enough cash to do it. So
I guess so.
yeah, but there are, if you look up online, you can find pictures of the practical effects that they made for the remake to the thing, and they actually look really good.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know why they cut him. Like, honestly, like the movie's not great, but if they had those effects in them, it would be worth watching and talking about. But at where it's at right now, it just isn't for like no reason. So
Yeah.
there's three Thing movies and one of them is like amazing, a masterpiece in my opinion, and the other two are trash. So
It shapeshifted into worse things.
it sure did. It sure did. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna say that like you couldn't remake this movie. I think that's like an argument that is like brought up about that mainly because the remake that they did do was bad.
Hmm.
But also like what you're saying, like the cold is definitely an aspect of it. Like there's when Paul's and McCready go out to their shack, and then Paul's cuts the line, and so then McCready comes in and he's very very cold and he's holding the dynamite in a flare,
Yeah.
which is awesome. It's
Hmm.
really really great imagery, but like you said, like I think you could even play up the cold even more, and play up the paranoia even more,
Hmm.
because there's been a bunch of movies that have come out since the 1982 thing that have kind of taken those ideas and like really, really ran with it. So I almost would like to see like a remade thing, but like actually do something with it.
Effort.
Yeah, I think it could actually be interesting.
Hmm. You
Um,
got to do practical effects though, which
yes, yes,
people can do nowadays. I mean, my only
yeah,
other like big reference is The Walking Dead because they do practical effects, and that show actually has really, really good practical effects.
yeah,
So it can be done. It just is
absolutely.
obviously more expensive, but you got to do it because that was like the best part of this movie was
Yes,
just like the insanity that happened, and I'm like, oh, this looks great.
yeah, and it's all real.
Hmm.
That's what's crazy about
No
it.
green rooms and
No,
stuff. It's just
no
like boom.
volume.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, you would need to do practical effects. But like even like Nosferatu, a lot of
Hmm.
that was like all practical. Um I mean I'm sure there were like CGI elements, but it wasn't like the film relied heavily on it. In
Right.
fact, it barely relied on it. So
Bring it back.
bring it
In a
back.
world of AI, bring back practical effects.
I think in general it is becoming more of a thing. Or like
Hmm.
there was like
There's always gonna be a pushback.
yeah, but there was like practical effects on like Alien Romulus, where like there was
Hmm.
dudes in alien suits again. So it's like I think there is kind of like a what is it? Uh, a rebuttal to the CGI
Hmm.
revolution of like the mid to late 2010s, where now it seems to be like no, it seems in general it's like actually practical is the way to go, and I think in general
Hmm.
that's kind of the popular opinion too among consumers like me.
Yeah. I think that happens with everything, like even fashion and stuff too. It's like it's a giant boomerang always because there's always a counterculture to the current culture, and we get burned out of it, and then it swaps over.
That's true.
Boom.
It's true. I just hope that it doesn't swap over because I think practical effects in movies should just be the norm.
True.
Um, oh, angry.
Angry.
We don't need another Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, if you will.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Or Fantastic Four for that matter. The CGI in that movie was bad. Hey, relax, stupid idiot.
We're talking about the thing 1982.
Yeah, yeah. When we talk about your favorite movie, I'm gonna yell through it. That's what I
Yeah,
said.
freaking Shaggy Dog.
She loves Shaggy Dog. She doesn't have a favorite movie. She does have
Okay.
favorite songs.
Yeah. I have a running record of music taste for both of my cats, so
That's yeah,
it's a real thing.
it's a thing. It's definitely a thing. So we'll review. What was? I watched The Night Eats the World, and there were some dogs
Hmm.
barking, and then there were alarms going off, and she was not
I didn't
happy.
like that.
Yeah, she was
Hmm.
not 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 a fan of that film. So I know what movie we're not gonna do
Okay.
for that. Um, I don't think you would like that movie anyways. So probably won't do it in general. Although it is a zombie movie. So I know you like your zombie.
I had my zombie thing,
Yeah.
and it's dead at this point. Like, you got to do something cool with it now, and people just don't like to do cool things with it anymore. So
Nope. So
it'll bounce back in 30 years.
yeah, the zombie wave is definitely over for the most part. That was like
Yeah.
2013 was the peak.
Yep.
When Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare came out, that
hmm
was the peak of zombies.
Real.
I never even played that game.
I didn't either. I'm a classic Plants vs. Zombies man.
Exactly. PopCap before EA.
Exactly.
Yeah, when they made
Purity.
Peggle.
I love Peggle.
Peggle's a great game. I haven't played it myself, but it is a great game.
We should play Peggle and do a feature on that. I don't know how you do a feature on Peggle, but it'd be fun.
We'd just be like just repeating everything from the Secrets of Peggle video, which is
That's
one
true.
of my favorite videos. It's very nice. It keeps showing up in my recommended, and every time I watch it,
Peggle's a gem.
it's such a weird game.
It is.
As someone who's never played it, like learning all the lore is like, this is in Peggle? Like the fun
It's
little
always the game if I was like bored on my Xbox 360. I'm like, let me boot up Peggle.
Yeah.
Because it was on the Xbox Live Store for like $2.
Nice.
And that was it.
I think it comes like with Xbox Game Pass. Like it feels like that was like the first thing that was automatically downloaded when I got Game Pass. Was Peggle.
As it should be.
As it should be. But yeah, that's the thing. We should talk about the score. Did you notice who did the score?
I did not.
Ennio Morricone. Do you know who that is?
Let me do some digging.
Look up his credits. He did a bunch of spaghetti westerns, namely the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. He did that famous score.
Okay.
And apparently he did the music for this. It doesn't sound anything like an Ennio Morricone score. In fact, it sounds a lot like a John Carpenter score with a lot
That's who I assumed did it.
Yeah. There's just a lot of like low synths and like it doesn't I don't know how much work Ennio Morricone did on it, but he's the only credited composer. So maybe he did do it, but I don't know. It sounds like every other score that John Carpenter made, so I don't know.
That's what I just assumed going in. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like because it's like an all-star crew too, because he's like a legend, done like so many iconic scores. But then the director of photography is Dean Cundey, who I think went off to do like a bunch of like Spike Lee movies, including like Do the Right Thing. I might need to double check that, but I'm pretty sure that Dean Cundey did that. But also, what do I know? I'm just a guy. But I'm looking it up right now. If you'll give me some time,
Maybe I will.
Okay. Dean.
I will say the poster is like fantastic for this movie. Like perfect. We don't do posters like this anymore.
No, they don't. Unfortunately, I have. It's a Drew Struzan.
Drew Struzan.
Drew Struzan. Yes, that's how I recognized it. I have the Drew Struzan art book. Because he was, if you like think of classic 70s, 80s movie posters where they're like hand painted, it's probably Drew Struzan. I know, like, I think he did E.T. I know he did all the Star Wars movies up until like the most recent ones. So like up through Revenge of the Sith. And I think he did all the Indiana Jones movies too. I think he did Back to the Future. Like, every single iconic movie poster from the 80s was done by Drew Struzan. And I was reading the book, and as the book goes, it gets like more and more depressing because like by the end, he's like working on like some like no budget movie that was like made in the 2000s. And he's like, I barely did anything. They just wanted me to like do an outline, and then they like computer did the rest of it, and they just took pictures. I'm like, that's so sad. It's like you can tell like by the end of the book he's defeated. Where he's just like the art form that I like kind of revolutionized is dead.
Yep.
And it's just like sad.
It's one of the saddest things. Like Even the album cover is kind of becoming a dead medium. Like there's a
Yeah,
couple of good ones out there, but they're not nearly as good as they used to be. But like, yeah, it's
yeah.
it's it's a dead art, and unfortunately, it's another cost cutting measure. But at the same time, it's like everything's a blueprint now. So when we see a halfway decent movie poster, everybody goes crazy about it for about a week.
That's true. I will say, like, the one that sticks out as being the exception to the rule is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's like
Hmm.
one of my favorite movie posters ever.
I think Baby Driver in that too is
Baby
also
Driver's a good
very
one
good.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just hand drawn movie posters are always gonna
Hmm.
rock. Which is like why I was so excited for the new Fantastic Four movie. I'm like, man, like they're nailing the look of it. But the movie didn't do it was bad. Not a good film. Sorry, that's two slights to the Fantastic Four movie, and I swear I don't even
I'm
think
not
about
gonna oppose.
I don't even think about that movie like as being exceptionally bad, but it's fine. Dean Cundy, though, did a lot of John Carpenter movies, including Halloween, The Fog, Halloween 2 and 3,
Mm.
Escape from New York, The Thing, but he also did hit films like Jurassic Park, Romancing the Stone, Back to the Future, Who Framed Roger Rabbit,
It's classic.
which is a classic,
Hmm.
and of course, Jack and Jill.
Mm. Another classic.
That that might have been
It's
his.
out of nowhere.
Yeah, 1 second. I need to see if that was his last movie because that would truly be.
That would make me quit,
That would
honestly.
be really
So
sad. Okay. Wait, is he still alive? He's still. Wow. He had. He did director of photography for The Mandalorian in 2023
interesting. Huh.
and Book of Boba Fett. Okay, so he's still working.
Okay. He's getting that Disney bag.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's like
Well,
in
yeah,
his like 60s or
additional bag.
70s. Why not? You've already solidified yourself as like,
I think it's with musicians. It's like this is all I do. This is all I live for. So I'll
yeah,
just keep going.
why not? Like, just make some cash, give it to your kids.
Hmm.
Why not? So, thank you, Dean Cundy. Thank you, Ennio Morricone. Thank you, John Carpenter. Thank you, Kurt Russell, for looking very cool in the film.
Hmm. Hmm.
When I grew my hair out, it was specifically because I wanted to look like Kurt Russell in that movie. So I am very biased. I think that he is very cool in the film. But yeah, I think that's everything that needs to be said about the thing, unless you have something else you want to talk about.
Nope. I think it was very enjoyable, and I will be watching again.
Oh, good. Me too.
Good.
If you can get a 4K copy, it looks great. So
I do want to see it in the theater. I feel like that'd be immersive.
every
So
once in a while, I think I've seen it in the theater. That was the first time I watched it.
okay.
Was in a movie theater, and it was amazing.
Nice.
So
Yeah, I might have to see.
yeah,
That's the thing.
check your local theater. Ask Greg Marcus if he can bring it to
Greg
the
Marcus.
Megaplex.
Hmm.
Last time
I'll
I saw
email him.
Greg Marcus, he was with the cast of Spinal Tap 2.
That's an interesting
It
collab.
was an interesting collab, but it was just weird because I don't know if you know this, but Chuck McGill from
Hmm.
Slippin' Jimmy is in Spinal Tap. And so it was really weird to see Chuck McGill and Greg Marcus in
Hmm.
the same room together and
That's a
chatting.
good pairing. I like that.
Yeah, it was weird.
I feel like they fit each other's vibe.
They kind of do. It was like the same guy was on screen, except Chuck McGill was wearing like a wig, like an '80s hair metal
Mm-hmm.
wig, because that's the bit.
Spinal Tap. Yeah,
Yeah. So I've heard that movie was trash, but I'm glad that Greg got to meet Chuck.
it's good.
Yeah. He was
It's one
also
good thing that came out of
Lenny
it.
and or Squiggy in Laverne and Shirley, which is a show that
Mm.
nobody remembers, but it was like his like claim to fame before Better Call Saul.
Yeah, and he was in a couple of things. I feel like I've seen him in a couple of things. So
Yeah. I mean, Spinal Tap and Laverne and Shirley are the only things that I've seen him in, besides, of course, his pivotal courtroom scene. where he says the word chicanery
Chicanery.
unironically, which
Exactly.
is awesome. And I strive to be like him one day. That's all I'll say. Okay. Next time, we don't have what we're going to do next time. It'll be a surprise, but it will be fun and cool.
Right.
Yeah, we just posted our RRR episode. I haven't checked to see if we've gotten any recommendations, but I will check because I do want some. And if you...
More Bollywood.
Yes, more Bollywood. I think I do have They Live as a potential one for this show, which is another John Carpenter movie. But that movie, I think, stars Rowdy Roddy Piper, who, of course, is the wrestler guy from Always Sunny.
Not real life.
Well, he also was a real wrestler. But I figured you would recognize him as the wrestler man from Always Sunny.
I grew up with Rowdy Roddy Piper, so I'm familiar.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. He was also in a hit film, Back in Action.
Interesting.
With the Thai Bo guy.
Really a John Cena before his time.
He really was. Yeah. Interesting guy, Rowdy Roddy Piper. I've also seen, I think he was on Carson, Letterman, and whoever, Late Night Man. Late Night White Man from the no, I don't think it was Jay Leno. But whatever host guy was like, hey, wrestling's all fake, isn't it? And then like Rowdy Roddy Piper like pulls his pants down on live TV because he has like a scar where like his leg bone went through his hip, and so he like shows him his ass on live TV, which is awesome.
That's awesome.
So shout out to Rowdy Roddy Piper for no reason.
Ripped to a real one.
Yeah, of course. Okay, that's all I have to say. Farewell.